welcome back 40k fans. It's Battleforge Brothers making our return back to YouTube. It's been quite some time. We've just been taking a bit of a long break, really, to be honest. Just a bit of a lull in the hobby, and also life gets in the way as well. But we are back with a battle report today. We are doing a 2,000 point battle of 1,000 Suns. So the Sons of Prospero are back. It's been a while since they've been out, and they are faced off against a new army. That's part of the reason why we've obviously taken our time as well. So what's the new army today then, Graham?
Yep, during our little lull, I've been painting up my Imperial Knights. Yeah,
so Knights are on. The Codex has been out for quite some time with them. Obviously 1,000 Suns, they've been out for quite a lot longer.
Yeah.
But it's time to bring them out on the board, see what they can do. Not really looking forward to it, but the only part I'm really looking forward to is the fact that your army now has a lower model count than mine.
A lot lower.
Normally it's the other way around, and I'm absolutely outnumbered.
Yeah.
But we're playing. We are playing a chapter approved game today. We'll discuss that as I pan across. But we're going to use some little rules from Forgebane as well.
We are, yes.
Yeah. We use the weather conditions. Just thought it'd be a little bit strange when you see the outlay of the board as well. Maybe some chaos trickery is triggered, you know, some unnatural storms, and it's kicking off. So it is going to be quite fun. Anything in particular that you're looking forward to seeing?
The new scenery, I think, as well. New
scenery, yeah.
You know, I've been working on some new scenery during our little lull as well. So yeah, a lot of things have been happening over the time where we haven't done much videoing, editing, but we have been working.
There's a lot of stuff in the background, yeah,
and been working on scenery as well. So yeah, looking forward to
anything in your force that you look. Who's to watch without giving too much away? The big guy.
The big guy.
Get up, no problem. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it. I have faced against this army off camera, and it was a really fun game as well. Though it was really good. But yeah, so let's go and have a look at the two armies and the board, of course. And it is Imperial Knights against the Sons of Prospero. Right, welcome back, Battleforged Brothers fans, to this 2,000 points battle against Imperial Knights versus 1,000 Suns. It's a first time clash. It's been a while since 1,000 Suns have been on, and of course Imperial Knights as well. So we have already deployed, but we'll just span across. We've got the webway at the back here, which 1,000 Suns have discovered. They've revealed its cloaking abilities, and it's been revealed to everybody. And as tricksy as Ahriman always is, he wants to get in there to get into the Black Library. So no doubt the Imperial Knights will want to stop this, because they know what Ahriman will do with this untapped knowledge. So as we go across, we can see the Promethium reactors here, and we are playing Dominate and Destroy, which is from Chapter Approved 2017 edition. Basically, at the end of each of our turns, for each unit that we're holding, for each objective that we're holding, each player will gain 1 victory point there, and this is each turn. So essentially, we could potentially get 6 in one turn, 6 in the next, and so forth. And of course, we also get a point for each destroyed unit, which is going to be a little bit difficult for me. And well, it's going to be a little bit easier for Graham, but Zinch is hopefully smiling down on us today. So we'll quickly come back. I know you can see some of the models, but we're going to do a quick model show. So we have Objective 1 here. We have Objective 2 just near the refinery over this side. We have Objective 3 just near the base of the webway gate. Just moving across towards more Graham's side, we have Objective, is that 4?
That's 4.
Yep, Objective 4 there. Objective 6 is just the opposite side of the refinery. And finally, Objective 5 is right the way over here, near the Shrine of the Aquila, just around the corner there, guarded by the statue. So, looking forward to this one. We'll give you a quick show of the armies, what we've got, warlord traits and such, and we'll come back in a moment. Right, guys, so this is 2,000 points worth of 1,000 Suns. It's not a very high model count army. So what are we running? We're running a patrol detachment and a supreme command detachment as well. So Battleforge gives us 3 command points, and the other one gives us 1. We have already spent 1 because we have a Rubric squad that is equipped with a Soul Reaper cannon and 1 Warp Flamer in the webware. They have infiltrated the webware. The aspiring sorcerer has a Warp Flame pistol. But looking over, we have an Exalted at the back there. We have another one on a disc, and we have another one just at the back here. We'll go through powers in a second because they are numbered. And we also have Ahriman, who is the Warlord today as well. We have another 10-man squad of Rubik's Marines here. Warp Flame pistol. We also have a Warp Flamer and a Soul Reaper cannon. Just looking at this side here, we have the Predator. Now, I have had to upgrade an upgrade, which I haven't managed to find the little plinth that it sits on, but I have got the Havoc launcher on that. Once I've found that, that will be modelled on. But it does have twin las on the top, las on the side, Havoc launcher, and that is it. And then, of course, moving across, we have the Primarch of himself, Magnus the Red. In reserve, like I say, we do have another squad of Rubric Marines infesting the webware. Don't know if infesting is the right word, but infiltrating. And we have a Scarab Occult Terminator squad in Deep Strike. So the Scarab Occult Terminator squad has a Soul Reaper cannon, a Hellfire missile rack, and the rest are equipped just as standard. So, powers, we do have a lot of powers to go through. So I'm just going to come round just to give you a bit of a show this way, because you'll notice I have dice on all my Psykers. And this is just to remember who's got what. So, for example, this guy here, Ahriman, number 1, his powers are just down here. So he has Prescience, Warp Time, and Glamour of Tzeentch. And then, of course, number 2, which is this dude here. And once again, just to give you a look, you have Tzeentch's Firestorm and Boon of Mutation. Number 3, not go through everything, of course. This guy here, powers that he has is Death Hex and Temporal Manipulation. Number 4, which is this guy here on the disc, has Infernal Gears and Gift of Chaos. And then, of course, Magnus the Red, he has just in the background there, he's got Bolt of Change, Infernal Gateway, and Doombolt. And, of course, Smite across the board as well. We have picked a relic. This guy has a relic, which is the Helm of the Third Eye, which allows us to potentially get command points back. And Warlord is Ahriman, which gives him his ethereal form, I think that's what it's called, which gives him a 3+ invulnerable save. So we are currently already down to 3 command points. That's it for us. Hopefully we can get some more back. But let's go and have a look at the noble house of, what's the house called?
Terran.
Terran, yeah. Let's go and have a look at the House of Terran. Right, so this is 2,000 points worth of Imperial Knights, House Terran. Yeah, so just 4 models. This should be easy. Yeah. Yeah, so of course, Imperial Knights, they're hitting everything at the moment. So let's go have a look and see what Graham has got. So first of all, just moving this side, you're going to have to tell me because I've got no idea what these are called. So what's this dude?
We've got House Paladin.
He's
House Paladin?
House Paladin. The Knight Paladin. Okay, and he's equipped with a Reaper Chainsword,
rapid fire battle cannon, heavy stubber, Reaper Chainsword, like you've mentioned, and a twin Icarus auto cannon. Okay, and the next guy? He is a Warden.
Yeah, he's got the fist, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and he is armed with the Avenger Gatling cannon, a heavy flamer underneath the Gatling cannon,
just underneath,
heavy stubber, Storm Spear rocket pod, and a Lightning Strike gauntlet.
Lightning Strike, is that what it's called now? Was it Thunderstrike?
No, Thunderstrike.
Thunderstrike, alright. I'm not very familiar with Imperial Knights terminology.
Me not being able to read.
So what's this guy called?
This is a Knight Crusader. Right. He is armed with Avenger Gatling cannon, heavy flamer underneath, heavy stubber, a rapid fire battle cannon with a heavy stubber on the battle cannon, and a Storm Spear rocket pod. Okay, and of course the big guy. Is this the Warlord as well? He is the Warlord. He is he's the one with the heirloom as well. Warlord is the Iron Bulwark, which gives him the 4+ input save. The heirloom, which I have give, is the Knight of the Sainted Ion, which gives them a 2+ save.
2+ armor.
2+ armor.
4+ invuln. So this guy's going to be hard to take down.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, they're all going to be hard to take down, but that guy even more so.
Definitely.
And he is equipped with an absolute arsenal of weapons.
Yeah.
So he's got...
Get to that. Right, so basically
what he has
got is a... one siege breaker cannon on the
one
top.
on the top, yeah.
And 4 shield breaker missiles.
They're the things that ignore invuln saves, aren't they?
There they are, yes. Yep. A thunder coil harpoon gun, which is the big beastie.
Yeah, that's a very, very bad, dangerous weapon.
Twin melters, and also the...
Is it a heavy incinerator or something?
Conflagration cannon.
Conflagration cannon, that's it.
And also, all of them have got titanic feet as well.
Yeah, so these guys look as though these guys are the more combat-orientated ones. But by all means, titanic feet are still pretty decent, aren't they?
Yeah.
In combat. So obviously this guy's your warlord, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So, as you can probably guess, Graham did finish deploying first with such a low model count. You haven't used any stratagems or anything like that for anything at the beginning.
Nothing yet.
Just me. So, Graham will get a +1 on the roll for this. So, roll near the webway. So, I get a 2, and Graham gets a 6, of course he does. I will most definitely try and seize. Nope, I do not seize. To be honest, I didn't think so, which is why I've deployed in a little bit of a defensive manner. So, let's see if we can weather the storm from the Imperial Knights. Let's see what they do. But of course, it is objectives as well, so we'll have to see what Graham decides to do. So, let's go and see what happens in the first turn, movement. Right, okay, so the House of Terran has moved forward. Very, very quick movement phase. So the Crusaders came bounding across and just stamping all over these pipelines, squeezing it like a hose pipe. And of course the Warlord not too far behind. The Warden, yay, is just coming close towards the webway. It's not active, so he's not going to disappear or anything. Just look as though he's going to try and get close to this. And the last guy, the Errant? Paladin. Yeah, he's just come round this side. Is he on an objective?
He is, yeah.
He is, yeah. I thought you were being sneaky. Yeah, just overwatched by the statue of the Space Marine there. Forgot to mention as well, we are also using Forge Bane rules for atmospheric conditions. So on a 1, 2, or a 3, something will happen to the atmosphere. But Graham did roll, and on a 4+, it's clear. So he did get a 6. So hopefully it's not a tell of how his dice rolling's going to go, because otherwise I'm going to have a bad day. But it is a clear day, so nothing's happening just yet. So we will we'll come back with the subsequent shooting once Graham's decided where he wants to put these mighty guns. Right, so as the guns begin to whirl up, Graham is going to begin his shooting phase with the Knight Crusader, this one.
Yep, Knight Crusader.
Yep, and basically he's firing his rapid fire battle cannon, the Gatling cannon, the heavy stubber, all into the rubrics. He doesn't like the heresy that he sees before him, so he's going to try and blow them apart, and I think he's probably going to do a good job of it. And the Storm Spear rocket pod's going to the Predator.
Predator.
Yep, you can see the Predator. We have checked. I will get cover for it. But where are you going to start first?
We'll start with the Gatling cannon.
The Gatling cannon at the rubrics.
At the rubrics.
Okie doke.
So I'm hitting on 3.
The rapid fire battle cannon, this one, isn't it?
Rapid. No, this is the Gatling cannon.
Oh, the Gatling cannon, sorry. Yep. So hitting on 3s.
Heavy 12, hitting on 3s. That one is cocked. 4 misses.
Not too bad.
It is strength 6.
Toughness 4.
3s again.
3s to wound. Not respectable.
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds.
6 wounds.
It is -2, and it's 2 damage apiece.
-2.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be, and it's 2 damage apiece, so I don't get any all its dust rule. Yeah. So these will be 5-up saves for inruns anyway. Okay, so we lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rubrics are dropped straight away. This isn't good at all for the rubrics. They cost so goddamn much. So that's 5 killed from that. We'll just quickly pull them off here.
Okay, I'll do the heavy stubber from the battle cannon. Again, hit your rubrics, and that's heavy 3. Hit on 3s. Strength 4, toughness 4, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Heavy stubber, yep, 4.
Yep, 4 to wound.
4 to wound, nothing.
No wound.
So now we've got the
rapid fire battle
cannon, which is
that's,
heavy 2d6.
This one here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, heavy 2d6.
4, 5.
5. That's not too bad. Could have been better, but it's better for me.
Yeah. Hitting on 3s. All hit.
All hit. This isn't good.
Strength. I'm wanting to
6, I think it is, isn't it?
8. Rapid fire battle cannon, strength 8.
Strength 8. Right. Okay. 2s.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is rapid fire battle cannon. It's -2, D3 damage apiece.
-2. Oh, ouch! This is gonna hurt. So down to me 5-ups already. So we do save 1. So it's D3. So D3. Even if you get a 1, you're gonna kill 4 of them. So that's dropped this rubric squad down to just the sorcerer. Absolutely brutal from that. So just take these rubrics off. Leave the sorcerer. These will have to do a morale test already. Yep.
Storm Spear.
Oh, this is going into the Predator.
The Predator, heavy 3. And we're hitting on 3s.
Heavy 3, yep. 1 hit.
That's 1 hit. And it is strength. Storm Spear, rocket pod, strength 8.
Toughness 7. 3s to wound.
3s to wound. 3
wounds. Wound.
It is. It is -2 D6 damage.
-2 D6. So 5-up save. Which we do not get.
D6. 2.
2 wounds dropped on that.
Yeah.
So that'll drop that down to 9 wounds for that. It's a bit of a weird wound count for that to have 11.
Yeah.
I just think it's a bit odd. But that's reduced that down to 9 already. So Graham is definitely going out for blood. Just put some wound markers down there.
You will. Going on to this one.
Going on to the Warden, I believe.
The Warden, yeah. We're going to fire the Gatling cannon at the Predator.
Okay.
And also the Storm Spear rocket pod as well. You will get, I can see you, but you will get cover.
Oh, I should have took cover saves for these, but to be fair,
I don't think they did anything.
Wouldn't have really done anything, yeah.
You'll get your cover saves on these, and that's when they'll do something. Right, so hitting on 3s.
Such a hail of fire. It's quite weak, this one, though, isn't it, compared to the battle cannon?
It is, yeah. This is strength 6.
Toughness 7, with 5 to wound. 3 wounds?
3 wounds, yeah. So that's 3 wounds, minus 2 damage.
Minus 2, so,
yep, so
it becomes a 5
1.
up, it becomes a 4.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not good.
2 damage apiece.
2 damage apiece, 2, 4, 6, so lost another 6 wounds. So this is absolutely battered already. It's down to 3 wounds.
Yeah, that's favourable.
So, yeah, not going very well at all. And the Storm Spear?
Storm Spear, heavy 3. Hitting on 3s. I'll hit. No, that is a 2. Because that's a...
That's your dodgy one.
I'm sure I chucked that over there.
Tipex or something on it.
Strength 8, toughness 7.
Toughness 7, 3 to wound. 2 wounds.
2 wounds. You get your +1. So Storm Spear, it is minus 2, but it would be minus 1.
So 2 4-ups.
Yep.
Do pass, finally.
Pass them both?
Yep. Is this something, is this hopefully the better
turnaround
for my dice rolling, because it's been horrendous so far. So that's that guy fired and that guy fired.
Right.
Is this big lad going to fire next?
The big lad's going to fire.
We do want to get this on camera.
You'd be lucky to... yeah, you'd be lucky to know this is going to be my last part of the firing.
Good, good.
Right, I'm not firing any missiles. I'm out of range of the conflagration cannon, and the melters
are out of range,
as well. So I have that possible siege breaker cannon. Yep, that's 48.
Okay.
And that's going to be at. That is going to be at.
Let us guess.
Magnus.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in range there.
These are Rubik's army casualties. They're not sneaking back on here.
So yep, we have siege breaker cannons. It is heavy 2d3.
Heavy 2d3.
Yeah.
Okay, so 4 shots.
4 shots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hitting on 3s on this one. Yep, ballistic skill 3.
Oh,
not that good. Siege breaker cannon, which is strength 7. What's your toughness of Magnus?
Toughness of Magnus, I believe, is also 7. I'll just double check. It's been a while since I've used Thousand Suns. Yes, he is toughness 7.
4s. Yep.
Does wound.
It does wound, and that is a -1 d3 damage.
And you can't take invuns against that, can you not? Is it that one that?
Nope, that's not the one.
Oh, right, okay, so just a 4-up save.
I think you think about the siege breaker missiles.
2, actually. Mine. Oh no, you've got straight line of sight,
yeah.
so that's fine. Do you fail?
You do fail. It is d3 damage.
D3. Okay, so that is 2, so down to 16.
Yeah.
And just stick some wound markers just down near Magnus. So already the Knights are wanting to take a piece out of the Primarch.
And you'd be lucky to know that the Thunder Coil harpoon gun's out of range.
It's out of range?
Yes.
Brilliant.
It's only 12 inches.
Brilliant, that's great. I'm liking that.
And this will be a mistake, but I'm going to let you off with the rest.
Okay.
That's the end of me show.
Graham's feeling a bit very generous here.
No, it's not generous, I just feel bad.
Right, okay, so you're no assaults, of course, because you're at range. Yeah. Might as well wrap the whole turn up, actually. So, points-wise, morale. I will just quickly cover morale. Just double-check whether Graham wants to do anything else, and we'll be back in a moment. Right, so we are just quickly back after that long shooting phase. Well, I'll say it was long. It was just brutal. So we did fail morale down here. So Graham did get first blood scored there, and of course a unit killed. So that puts him on 2. And then for the knight round here, holding that objective, that puts him on 3 at the moment. So we will a bit brutal. It could have been worse. Couple of wounds took off Magnus. The Predator is limping along. So let's have a look and see what we can do to remedy the situation. We can't just sit back. We have to move out. Let's see what the Sons of Prospero can do. Right, so after the battering that they've taken in the first turn, Thousand Suns have moved out. So first of all, we did roll for atmospheric conditions, and we got a 4. So it is clear skies once again. And with them clear skies, all the Imperial Knights can see is big flying people and people on discs zooming towards them. So Exalted Sorcerer has just came zipping across here. Exalted Sorcerer has just moved in front of the rubrics, which have came out the webway. So one rubric squad is gone, next squad is back. Ahriman's just moved up on his disc, and Magnus has just came swooping along unaffected by his wounds characteristic, looking to get in, hopefully to combat and do some mortal wounds around here. The damaged predators just came round, just backed up round the back with another Exalted Sorcerer there. Terminators are still in the teleportation chambers, just waiting for their chance to come down and help out. But we do have quite a long psychic phase to see if we can pull off. So we'll come back once I have decided where I want my powers to go and what I want to do. So we'll be back in a moment. Right, so we are just towards the back end of the psychic phase. So what have we done? So first of all, we cast Glamorous Inch onto the rubrics. That came from Ahriman. We did also warp time them as well, so they have jumped forward. And then we also cast Smite from Ahriman as well. Lots of Smites being cast around, and dropped this guy by... How many runs of it? How many runs is he on now?
Currently on 19 points.
19 points of damage left.
So you've dropped 4 points.
Four wounds dropped on him so far.
Wounds, yeah, sorry.
We also tried to cast a couple of other powers as well. We tried to cast, I believe it's the Healy one. Can't remember what it's called. But to try and get some points back on this and failed. But we are just going into Magnus. He has yet to do his powers. So first, I am going to cast Doombolt. And I'm going to cast it on the wounded guy. So Doombolt is a warp charge of 9. Select a enemy unit that is within 18 inches. The unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. And in the following movement phase, basically the half, like the movement stuff. So it is quite a high one. So a warp charge 9. But we do get +2 to that because of Magnus's ability. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which technically would be perils.
No, it wouldn't be perils because it's not double.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, the result would be perils, but I haven't rolled a double 6.
Right. Yeah.
So that does go off. So D3 mortal wounds. 3 mortal wounds. Another 3. And this guy can only move 6 inches.
Okay, no worries.
For his movement, advancing, charging, everything like that. So that's that one done. What do we do now? We'll have to have a think about his last power, but of course we have to do Smite. So let's see if we can get a nice big Smite off here. No, we don't. But it is what, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. It's not the massive one, but it is D6 for Magnus.
Oh, D6, aye.
But we do get a nice 5. So 5 points of damage dropped there. I'm going to come back actually once I've decided what other power, because he has cast 2. Magnus can cast 3. I'm just going to have a bit of a think about what I want him to do next, and then we'll come back. Right, so after a little bit of thought, it kind of didn't matter, because what I did was, obviously you've already seen the powers that I did cast, but I decided to use Infernal Gateway, this one here, and I also, at the end of the psychic phase, spent a command point and played the Great Sorcerer. So then we also cast Bolt of Change. So this guy's been hammered by mortal wounds. So how many wounds you got left, Graham?
7.
7 wounds. So is he in bracket yet?
He's in the
middle.
He's in middle, but you've only got to take him 1 more wound off him to drop him into bottom.
Quite a lot of damage done there. So we've taken a lot of damage, but obviously for psychic, just the amount of psychic powers that obviously the Thousand Suns can dish out, it could have been a lot worse. But we are going to go into shooting. We haven't even heated up the guns yet, and of course, hopefully we'll have a charge. So let's have a look and see what we can do. Shooting's not going to be our forte here, especially with the Predator being damaged. But we'll have a look and see if we can pull something off here and get at least one of these down. So we'll be back in a moment. Right, so we are just back after a shooting phase for Thousand Suns. Not too bad, actually. A lot of firepower coming in from the Soul Reaper cannon and obviously the rest of the rubrics, dropping the Imperial Knight down to 3 wounds. And then we fired the Havoc launcher. I did mention it that I do have it. I am going to stick it on eventually when I get the right strut. And the las cannons took it down to 1 wound. This guy is limping along. Nothing else in range. We're even seeing if we could get a warp flamer in range, a warp flame pistol. Nothing at all. And that was pretty much it. So we are going to set off a charge. We are going to attempt to get Magnus into combat with this Imperial Knight Crusader here. So Graham, of course, will get Overwatch.
Oh,
yeah. So we'll see what he does. Let's have a look. Oh, I did forget to mention as well, at the end of the Psyche phase, I did forget about the Aspiring Sorcerer. So I did cast 1 extra power. Graham, we did agree that it was fine for me to do, and I cast Weaver of Fate on to Magnus, so giving him a 3-up invuln. Great, like I say, we both, Graham was very gentleman about it, and he's fine for me to do that. He might regret that now, of course.
I think I do. I think I regret not firing the rest of my knights at you as well.
Well, you did fire them all, just a lot of the stuff was out of range.
Right.
Okay, so Overwatch, what are you doing first?
Gatling cannon.
Gatling cannon. Okay, so hitting on 6s against Magnus. So at least 3 or
4.
4. Nice.
Nice. So that's 4 shots. 12. Strength 6. Toughness
7. 5 to wound.
1 wound.
What's the stats for that again?
-2 damage.
-2 damage, so 3 up invuln.
Passed.
Passed on a 5. Just grab this
right
here.
This is the
Battle cannon.
battle cannon. Yep, heavy 2d6. 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8.
So hitting on 6s.
1, 6.
Yep.
Strength 8.
Toughness 7. 3s to wound.
No wounds.
Nothing from that.
Right, we've got the flamer underneath.
What's the range on it? I presume it'll be, what, 8 or 12?
Just double checking.
I think you'll be in range with it regardless.
Heavy flamer 8.
8. Double check that in a sec. I'm pretty sure, yeah, to be honest, I think you will be.
Totally lost where my...
I'm just trying to get mine out.
Mine's gone walkabout. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, you're in range easily. Yeah. Okay, so that'll automatically hit.
Automatically hits. It is a heavy flamer, a heavy...
Strength 5, is it?
Heavy D6.
For what?
For the heavy flamer. Heavy D6. So I've got a... How many actually hit you?
Right, strange.
So 6.
Right, I see. I'm with you. Right, yeah.
So 6
The automatically hits, yep.
It is strength 5.
Strength 5, toughness 7. So 5 to wound.
1 wound.
1 wound. Had a bit of a brain fart trying to work that one out there.
-1, 1 damage.
-1, 1 damage, 3 up. Fine.
The heavy stubber. That's on the battle cannon.
Yep, on the battle cannon. Heavy stubber.
6s. Ooh, 2 6s.
2 6s. I believe this is strength 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
5 to wound.
Nope. Nothing. And we've got the melter.
This thing's armed to the teeth.
Oh yes, 6 on a melter. Melter. Strength 8. Toughness
7, 3s to wound.
We wound. It is -4 D6 damage.
3 up invuln. We are fine with that. Storm Spear rocket pod.
Storm Spear rocket pod.
Heavy 3.
6s. No 6s out of that.
There's the,
that was a 2.
Okay. Nothing out of that. So
now you can charge.
Yep. Do we get in?
Double 1.
6, 7, 8. Yep.
No, that's it.
We are in. So we're going to move into combat, and we'll come back with the combat phase. Right. So we are just in the middle of the assault phase. Magnus gets 7 attacks. He is unaffected. So we are going to attack, hitting on 2s with the Blade of Magnus. So every single one of them hits, which is always nice. It is strength 16 for that, because it is times 2 strength. So you are toughness 8. So 2's to wound. Okay, so we do get 6 wounds. And that is it for the Blade of Magnus -4. So it'll be your invuns. And
don't get invuns because it's not.
Oh, it's in combat. Yes, it is. Right, okay then. So that is 3 damage apiece.
Yeah, just roll 1 dice.
3,
I've only got
6,
1 wound left.
9. Yeah, very, very overkill. Yeah, so you can't save that.
No, I can't save that.
Okay, right. Now, Graham does want to see if he explodes. Have you got any strategies?
And I am going to use a stratagem.
Okay.
And he's a Questoris class. Is he a Questoris? No. What class is he? Yep, sorry. He is a Questoris class.
I was just thinking, yeah, he is.
Brain fart again. On a 4+.
Oh, so if he explodes
2 command points.
2 command points.
Yeah, so I'll use those 2 command points.
I'll roll to see if I get a stratagem back from Helm of the Third Eye. No, I don't.
And on a 4+, he explodes. Which he does.
He does. Okay, so what's the range for the explosion again?
Right, I need to read there.
You know what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Explodes.
If it's 3 inches...
If this model is reduced to no rounds, roll a d6. Already done that. If it explodes, which it has, each unit within 2d6 suffers d6 mortal wounds.
2d6.
2d6.
Right, okay.
Just double check
Roll
that.
it down here, mate.
2d6. 5, 6,
7 inches. Right, so you're going to catch him.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to catch me.
And that's it.
And as he, I think he might just be out of range here. So it's at 7.
Yeah.
Well, it's from the base. So it'll be from anywhere in the model.
Yes, he does get it as well.
Double check. Give us past that 2 moments. I'm just going to check to see if you hit the rubrics. So from that, nope, you are out.
Okay.
Just by a whisker. But against Imperial Knights, I will take a whisker. Okay, so with the explosion results, we'll get this all resolved, and that'll pretty much sum up the turn 1 for 1,000 Suns. So we'll come back with the scores. Right, so we are just back after end of turn 1 for 1,000 Suns. So we do normally put the explosion markers, but Graham's been tidying up and he's lost them. So shame on you, Graham. Shame on you. So yeah, he has gone. He dealt 4 wounds. We did a bit of a gentleman's agreement. So I rolled for Graham's knight here. He rolled for Magnus. Magnus lost 3 wounds. So he's been dropped down. He's down to 13. Yeah, 13. And this guy's been dropped by 5. So he's down to, God knows, about 80 wounds or whatever he's got left. And this guy lost 1 wound as well. So apart from that, I have consolidated 3 inches onto the objective here. So it is currently the Imperial Knights are in the lead, but basically first blood at the moment. So it is 3-2. So we are coming back after Graham's decided what he wants to do in turn 2 for Imperial Knights. Right, we are just to catch on camera because I haven't caught the other 2 on camera. Just at the beginning of Graham's movement phase, whether atmospheric conditions actually happen this time around. So let's see what happens.
Yes.
Oh, on a 1. Right, okay. So on a 1, it is a corrosive storm. So basically what happens is players must make a single saving throw for each of their units that is not wholly within a terrain feature. If the save has failed, then the unit suffers a mortal wound. So that is basically both of us. So everything that is in the open that's not wholly within a terrain feature. So that would be the Predator. He would be covered because he's in terrain. All of these and Magnus as well. And obviously for Graham, it would be his knight, that knight, and that knight as well.
That's bad for me. I can't get him covered.
But you've also got a lot of wounds as well.
Right, true.
Right, so it's just a normal save by the sound of it. So we'll quickly we'll work that out. We'll quickly do that. We'll let Graham finish the rest of his movement, and we'll come back if there's any updates on mortal wounds. Right, so we are just in the middle of shooting for Imperial Knights. Just for movement, as you can see, just decided to do it all as one, with there only being 3 units. This guy's moved out. This guy's just moved around, and the Warlord, he's just moved up as well. in the subsequent shooting. This guy has fired everything that he could. He fired the... What's he got again under there? Heavy flamer, hasn't he?
Heavy flamer.
Heavy flamer, stubber, and the cannon. The Gatling cannon, just down here, killed the Exalted, and fired the Storm Spear rocket pod at the Predator, and I did pass my save, so not too bad there. This guy's fired into Magnus, and Magnus has been dropped down to 10 wounds, but we're just going on to shooting for this lad here. So Graham has picked his target, so the siege cannon, is it? Siege breaker cannon?
Siege cannon, yep, and the siege missiles.
So it's only one of these you can fire, isn't it?
Yeah, only one I can fire, and the harpoon gun at Magnus.
So them 3 weapons are going into Magnus.
Yep. The conflagration cannon and the 2 melter turrets.
Yep, are going into the rubrics.
The rubrics, yeah.
Okay, so where are you starting first?
Harpoon gun.
I thought you'd say that. Right. So this is a deadly weapon. I have experienced it outside of camera, and it is a bit brutal.
Right. Bearing in mind, I can't command point this because I already commanded point.
Yes, Graham did use a command point for a reroll for the Storm Spear rocket pod.
Yeah.
And I did get a command point back from Helm of the Third Eye. So, alright, so you are hitting on 3s.
Always the same.
You unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I breathed a sigh of relief that missed. Okay, so that's, you can still do a lot of damage still.
Yep. Right, so the Stormbreaker missiles, which each Stormbreaker missiles can only be fired once per battle, and a model can only fire once.
Yeah, you can only fire one
each
I believe.
Turn. Yeah. Invulnerable save throws can't be taken with this.
Okay, so you need to hit first.
Yep.
So hopefully,
hit on 3s. Oh, yes,
oh, he does hit. Yep.
It is strength 10.
Strength 10. Okay, so you're wounding on 3s.
Yeah. No wound.
Fails to wound.
Oh, bad.
And you have done a command reroll.
I have, yes.
Okay, so your top cannon.
Yep. Heavy 2d3.
Heavy 2d3. So that is...
1.
Is that a 3?
And that's a 3.
Yep, so that is 3.
Yeah. We're hitting on 3s.
So 2 hits.
Wood. Strength 7. Toughness 7.
7 fails to wound.
Nothing.
Fails to wound.
So
oh, yeah, this is a poor display of firepower here.
Right, so nothing.
First time on the channel. He's not doing very
against
well.
Magnus.
Magnus is look at him taunting you with his finger.
Save for another day.
He's using his psychic shields, just blocking it all, deflecting it all away, messing with your systems.
Right, we've got the conflagration cannon, which is heavy 3d6.
Yeah, this is going to do some damage. This is against the rubrics.
And that is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15 shots. 15 hits.
15 hits, yes, because it is automatic. So very clever this as well, because of course Glamorous Inch, it is -1, but it automatically hits. So a clever weapon to use against the rubrics there.
Strength 7.
Strength 7, so yeah, you are wounding on 3s. I don't like this.
9
wounds.
9 wounds. It is -2. 2 damage apiece.
-2?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Only take out 9 though.
Right, so 3 up becomes a 5 up. And of course, invuln anyway, so 5 ups. Okay, so, yeah, we lose what, 7 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 7 rubrics go down to the conflagration cannon. We'll pull them off in a second. And
the melters.
Melters.
Which is assault 2. And there's 2 of those, so it's 4 shots.
Okay, now this one you are subtracting because it's not an automatic hit weapon.
So hitting on 4s.
Hitting on 4s. That is that
good.
power helping us out there, negating another hit. What was it? Strength 8. 2's to wound. It does wound just.
It is
-4.
-4 d6 damage.
Oh, right, okay, so invuln, 5 up. No.
1 gone.
So another one dead. So that is 8 killed straight away. These rubrics, there are a lot of points, but 8 of them are wiped off the board there. So we'll take them off in a second, but I believe that's all your shooting done.
It is, yes.
Do you have any assaults, sir?
I have 2 assaults.
2 assaults. Okay.
Yes, 2 assaults, definitely 2 assaults.
So I presume this guy here?
That guy's going to go into your sorcerer.
Into the sorcerer. Okay.
And we've got the big guy going into Magnus.
Okay, so sorcerer, he'll be out of range with his warp flame pistol. So just roll to see if he gets in. 9. 9 inches should be more than enough to get in.
Should be more. From him, yeah.
Yep, so we'll move him in a sec. Or now.
Yeah, we'll just...
So he comes thundering through this little alleyway here.
He can't fit because he's a fat bastard.
Yep.
Right.
Language, Timothy. And obviously
English.
no Overwatch here.
10. Yeah.
10, okay. So these guys are going to get in. So we'll move them in and we will come back with the combats. Let's see what happens here. Right, we are just in the middle of Graham's assault phase here. So, assault here, as expected, the Exalted Sorcerer was killed. Hasn't consolidated yet, but 1,000 Suns with 2 command points remaining. I decided to be cheeky and I intervened. So, Magnus attacked and dealt, how many wounds? 12 wounds.
12 wounds, yeah.
Dropped off. So, now, of course, we're letting Graham now attack. So, he is, would he be dropped? Should be dropped a bracket now, I believe.
He's got 12 wounds. I think he has dropped a bracket.
Has he only got 12 wounds left?
He has dropped a bracket, yeah. So he's into the middle bracket. I am now hitting you on 5s.
Nice, which is why I wanted to intervene. So hitting on 5s against Magnus. Is this with your feet?
This is with my feet.
Okay. Not too bad, but it's a bit of a shame to see all them 4s and 3s go away.
That's not so bad.
Strength of the user?
Strength 8.
Strength 8 against toughness 7.
3s.
Yep.
That's not bad.
Not too bad.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wounds. Minus 2 D3 damage.
Minus 2. Okay, so my 3 up inbuns. So I fail 3 of them. Was it D3 damage?
D3 damage, yeah.
Okay, so D3 for 3 of them. So the first one, lose 2.
2. 1.
1. And 1, so it loses 4 wounds. That brings Magnus down to 6 wounds. So not too bad there.
I have got a strategy as well.
Graham's going to pull something out here.
I'm sure it's when I got charged. Right, full tilt.
Full tilt.
Use this stratagem in your charge phase. Choose an Imperial Knights vehicle from your arm.
You're outside of your charge phase
Sorry,
now.
Sorry, that's not the one. That's not the one. Wrong one.
No.
I did read it somewhere, and I definitely have got it.
We'll come back once Graham's decided.
Right, I've got it.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it.
I've got it. Use the stratagem after a House Terran unit from your army has fought in the fight phase. That unit can fight an additional time this phase.
Oh, and how many command points is
3
that?
command points.
3 command points.
I'm using my last 3.
Last 3 command points. Do we get one back for Helm of the Third Eye? No, we do not. So Graham is looking to try and take Magnus out here. So he does get a fight in additional time. So using your feet again.
Yeah.
So hitting on 5s. That's what we like to see.
Ah, no.
That is beautiful.
So strength 8, 3s.
Yep, 3s to wound. 2 wounds.
2 wound. Minus 2.
2, 3 up inbuns.
I'm not going to take you out unless I get a double 3.
Oh, we do fail both of them. So,
I need,
D3.
I need 3s. No.
1 wound. 2 wounds. So that is 3 wounds.
Oh, that's 3 wounds.
3 wounds, sorry, yep. 4 wounds drop. That drops Magnus down to 2 wounds. So he is still kicking, but he is severely hurt. But he's not dead yet. And of course, consolidate. Where do you want this guy to go? He moves 3 inches.
I'll put him 3 inches. Anything there? We'll just step back a bit.
Just going to move back a bit.
Yeah.
I need to move that away as well. So quite a good round actually, bringing Magnus down to 2 wounds. But that is everything done. I did forget to mention obviously for the atmospheric conditions, damage that was done, Magnus did take a wound for that, and we did lose a rubric as well for that. And apart from that, the only other unit that lost a wound to do that was this guy. So we're just going to quickly do morale. So for the rubrics, we've lost 9, 10, 11. Yep, he's dead. So that is another kill point to Graham. So Graham's currently on 6-2. We need to do some massive damage here.
But then if we're calculating points,
yep, points. Now. Oh yeah, he's currently holding that, so that puts Graham on 7. So the Imperial Knights are storming ahead with victory points. 1,000 Suns need to do a lot of damage here, and a lot of points need to be gained. So let's see what we can do. Right, so we are just back after movement for 1,000 Suns on their turn 2. Right, so we'll roll for atmospheric conditions first. On a 5, it is clear skies, so that is fine. As you can see, the Skyrical Terminators is deep struck down at the end, more than 9 inches away from this guy, and this guy. Looking to lend some fire support as well as psychic. The Predators have come moving around, as well as Ahriman and the Exalted Sorcerer there. And Magnus is obviously still locked in combat with the Warlord here. So that is pretty much it. So we are going to go into psychic, see what we can do, see what damage we can dish out. Need a lot of mortal wounds as possible. And then we'll subsequently go on to shooting, so we'll be back in a moment. Right, so we are just back after psychic phase. Quite a good psychic phase, actually. So these guys cast Smite over to this Knight Warden. Took 1 wound off.
Down to 20 wounds.
Down to 20, yeah. This guy here also cast Smite onto this dude here and took 1 wound off. And then cast Death X, which we did get off, which was brilliant. So this guy cannot take invulnerable saves. Ahriman cast Glamorous Inch through the window. I did get Graham to see if he had line of sight, which I'll just come down to his line of sight here. You can see the rubrics through the window, just to give you a little bit of a view there. So these guys are just protected a little bit there. And we also cast Prescience onto the Predator. We also cast Smite as well, dropping 2 wounds. But Magnus did get his big Smite off and dropped... How many wounds did we take off him altogether? 5, wasn't it?
5, yeah.
Yeah, we dropped 5 wounds, but we did roll a 6 for perils. However, we did roll a D3 for mortal wounds. We got 3 mortal wounds, and this is our roll for the protection that he has. So on a 2 up, Magnus can ignore the wounds. Now with 2 wounds left for Magnus, that was brilliant. So we are going to go into shooting, see what other damage we can do. So hopefully we can do a little bit more damage to these knights, weaken them down a bit.
Side note, the Valiant's down to 3 wounds.
Yep, this guy is down to 3 wounds. So hopefully this guy's going to go bye-bye, but he does explode quite a little bit easier.
He's got 2 cores.
Yeah, so we'll have a look and see what happens. So we'll come back after shooting. Right, we are just back after shooting. Very quick shooting phase. Not a great deal to sing home about. Havoc Launcher dropped just a wound there, wasn't it? 2 wounds?
2 wounds.
2 wounds off that for the Havoc Launcher. Excuse me. And missed with the las cannons, hitting on 4s. It would have been 5s, but because of prescience, but we got 3 3s and 1 2. Then, of course, the Scarab Occult firing everything into this guy, dropping just 1 wound.
Yeah.
And that was from a bolter. So, poor there. But, how many wounds this guy got left?
He has got 12, 15, 16, 17 wounds.
17 wounds left on this guy. This guy's still full health.
Yeah.
But we are chipping away a little bit. But of course, we do have some combats to sort out. So of course, there is ongoing combat here. And that's pretty much all I'm going to do, to be fair. So I'll actually film this on camera now. So, Magnus the Red, he is down to 2 wounds. Which is going to be a little bit poor here. So he gets 5 attacks. And he does not diminish his... No, he doesn't diminish his weapon skill ability.
Oh, wow.
I'll just double check that, actually. Just want to double check against the Codex. Right, I thought I was right. Just double checked against the codex, just rather than just off memory here. Yeah, he doesn't diminish in his weapon skill. So 5 attacks, hitting on 2s. So we do get 2 misses. Not great.
You only need 3 wounds.
Wounding on 2s. We do get the 3 wounds. And Graham cannot take invulnerable saves against this because of a death hex. So that will be -4. So you do have a 2-up armor save.
6 up.
So 3 6-up saves.
All I need is 1 6.
It's 3 damage apiece.
Alright, okay. 3 6s.
No.
Not one
And not just your Imperial Knights dying, it sounds like you are as well.
Aye.
So yes, it is killed. Now to see if it explodes. So this thing, I believe, explodes on, you roll 2d6, don't you?
2d6, yeah.
Is it still a 6 that you require?
If this model is reduced to no runes, roll 2d6 before removing it from battlefield. If you roll a 6 on either dice, it
on either dice.
explodes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not a 6 as the total result, it's if you roll a 6 on one of the dice.
No.
No, it does not explode.
And that was such a crap
But
roll.
it is destroyed. So that is a kill point. And slay the warlord.
Yes.
So Graham will obviously take that off. We'll move in a couple of moments. But looks as though at the end of that round, that's 1 point for that. So that puts us on 3 for the 4 actually, because that's a unit as well.
Yeah.
5 because we're in. Well, even if I just scoot along here, so that'll put us on 5 for that. And I think I am in range of this here.
Yep.
Yep. So that puts us on 6. So the Imperial Knights leading still by 1, but we are severely weakened. But of course, the Knights have quite a stretch to come to try and take the meat of the army out. Primarily all these psychic shenanigans over here. But we'll have a look and see what Graham can do to remedy the situation. Can he bring it home for the Emperor? Can you, Graham?
Aye.
Right, let's have a look and see what he does. Right, so we are just back after movement and shooting for Imperial Knights, and as you can see, very well damage done. This guy did really well, fired his Storm Spear rocket pod, killed the Predator, didn't explode, and then subsequently his Flamer and the Avenger Gatling Cannon wiping out this squad here. This guy has claimed Magnus. I knew he was going to go, he was only on 2 wounds, but a lot of firepower coming in from him there. Glamorous Inch holding up a little bit here with firepower, but then the Gatling Cannon just minced them. So now, of course, Graham does have a charge to set off. So he's going to attempt to charge this guy against the Exalted Sorcerer here. But we have double-checked. We are within 6 inches for our Warp Flame Pistol. Finally get to fire this thing. So it is a pistol D6. So we do get 5, and these are automatic hits. Strength 3. 6s. No, we don't get any. We get a lot of 5s. Now, do you get in? Please roll poorly.
Maybe. Anything.
4. Yeah. Oh, no, he's in, yep. Okay, so this guy will be moving in. So he'll probably be dead. So we'll come back after the combat. It's not a massive combat, to be honest. And then we will come back. But it is looking as though that it is getting very, very close in regards to the end of the game here. But we'll come on with combat. We'll come back with the results of points as well. Right, so we are just back after combat. And as predicted, the Exalted was killed. Graham has consolidated as well. And as you can probably guess, we are getting very, very low down on models. We are literally down to the Warlord. That is it. So we are going into turn 4 for Thousand Suns. I'm going to see what I can do just for fun. But Graham, at the end of that turn, he's currently on, 11 to the Thousand Suns 6. So we need to pull something right out of the bag here. let's have a look and see what we can do. But to be honest, I can see this being an Imperial Knight victory. Let's have a look and see if we can do anything. Right, we are back just after Thousand Suns turn 4. And where's Armand gone? He has basically done Back to the Future. So he's moved 12. And then in the second phase, he's warp timed and moved over here. Then he also tried to cast Glamorous Inch, but failed. But he was in range for Smite, and he dealt out 2 wounds on this guy. So that is the end of Thousand Suns turn 4. We're on 7 points here. And we're going into turn 5 for Imperial Knights. Looking to see what they can do. To be honest, I don't think we can win here. But just going to see if Graham can kill off the Warlord. Well, that's it. As you have seen, Imperial Knights, it is a wipeout. You're over the moon with that.
I am.
Yeah. Yes. So House Terran has fulfilled their oath, and they've basically just destroyed the heretics. So good on them for doing that in the name of the Emperor. Yeah, that was quite brutal from my side, from feeling it like.
Yeah.
It was,
I got to admit, once you took a knight out, you took 2 out, I did fail the first one. The second one, not so bad because I knew it was on its way out. But I did fail the first knight that you took out.
Did you not fail the second one, the big one, the Valiant, or it was called?
Yeah, well, I should have done, right? Because it did explode.
Couple of side notes as well is me and Graham were discussing as to, for the game that we played for killing a unit, is if a knight is killed, there's nowhere that says that killing a unit, i.e. for an Imperial Knight, is any more than 1 point. So we did play it by them rules. We've kind of we haven't kind of like twisted about it. We've kind of just thought, well, it should be a little bit more for
I do think it should be D3 for any super heavies.
Yeah, like Imperial Knights, Wraith Knights, things like that.
You know, we did have that rule in 7th. I don't know why they took it out now, but we might see that in a future FAQ.
As far as I'm aware, it's not an existing rule now. If it is, we haven't been able to find it at all, so we have just played it to the letter. I thought it was quite cool with the atmospheric conditions as well that we played. It didn't really happen a great deal though.
No, it was too sunny.
Yeah, it was too sunny. So it was, yeah. The Emperor was smiling down on you, that's why. That's what it was. But yeah, so I thought the Thousand Suns did give a good account for themselves, considering how tough Knights are to take down. I mean, for me to get them points, what I should have really done is I should have maybe spread out and started concentrating on more of the objectives rather than anything else.
I think this game was a double-edged sword for both of us. It was like my role was to kind of take out your guys and not so much focus on objectives because I didn't have the model count.
Yeah, I think
while yours
you did that well.
Hide and kind of get the objectives.
Yeah, looking back on it, I think I should have been more sneaky and hidden ruins and things like that and forced you to come out to me.
Yeah. And
maybe it's moved around the board a bit, but I think the positioning of the objectives as well, we had to kind of move out.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of your points by killing units, and obviously my points were things like objectives and killing a few units as well. I'm still pleased with the score of 7. So the end scores were
7 to 13.
7 to 13, yes. So very, very good to Graham. So what would you say your model of the match was? Don't say Imperial Knight.
I wouldn't say the Valiant. He didn't really do much. We didn't see the Harpoon gun.
Yeah, we didn't.
Which I was a bit gut.
Yeah, it was a little bit gut-wrenching.
I would probably say the oldest Knight that I've got was the Warden.
The Warden?
Yeah.
The guy with the fist?
The guy with the fist. He kind of went up, he went round, and then he
went through the webway, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He did what he needed to do, and I thought that was fantastic.
He did do very well. I think just the firepower that they can give out is just tremendous. I think for me, I'd have to say Magnus, to be fair, just with his psychic powers.
The amount of wounds he dished out. Mortal wounds.
As a collection, I thought all the psychics did really well, which is, of course, what Thousand Suns aim to do. All the mortal wounds, but I think Magnus did the most damage, and of course in combat as well.
Yeah.
So I think it was really good, and also just before we close, I think maybe he's going to try and do taking on the Knights, aren't we?
I think
see which armies that we can use against them.
We get a feeling of the Knights want to be the most dominant army.
Well, the Tau's been knocked off.
The Tau has been
knocked off. The Eldar knocked them off, so... They have only won...
Eldar Knights?
Oh, yeah. Could do, potentially.
Yeah, let's have you know, the Knights are wanting to be dominant. Let's make the Knights dominant.
Knock over the Knights.
Let's see. Knock over the Knights.
Knock over the Knights. Right, and on that note, guys, hope you've enjoyed this battle report. It's been fun for me, even though I lost, but it's been brilliant coming up against Knights. Not
Fantastic
very often.
For me.
Of course, yeah. You celebrate. You can go and pray to that corpse emperor. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed that. Please check out the rest of the channel, guys. We're also on Facebook as well. Just hit the subscribe button. It does really give us a little bit of a boost to get out there and post more stuff when we can. Hit the bell button as well. But certainly check out the rest of the channel, all the other videos out there. And until next time, happy wargaming.